Hi, I'm Dane Chalfin. I'm going to talk to you today about a concept called primal sound. I first saw primal sound in action with a wonderful operatic practitioner called Janice Chapman. Her book, Singing and Teaching Singing, is a fantastically valuable resource for singers regardless of genre. There's great information in there, but specifically this idea of primal sound. Watching Janice work was quite a revelation. She was using everyday noises, things like whimpering, things like whinging and groaning, things like calling out, hey, to elicit postural and respiratory support responses that were very reflexive in these classical singers. Once they'd found them, then she'd go on to shape the sound into a more classical aesthetic. But what I thought was so amazing, being a pop and rock coach, is I was listening to these noises and I was thinking, do you know what? My guys use these sounds in their purest form all the time. I can steal this and evolve it. And it's exactly what I did. So thank you, Janice, for being a very willing victim of theft. I took the concept back to the voice clinic that I'd been doing some work and research with, and we started investigating it both endoscopically with the camera up the nose looking down into the larynx, also looking at the acoustic data that was happening. And what we found was in our case, four very gross everyday noises that seemed to elicit a very similar physiological response in people's larynxes. So we looked at what we called sigh for light breathy singing. We looked at whimper for that light clean singing. We looked at what we called whinge, or for our North American viewers, whine, groan, complain. For that kind of mixed voice quality. And then we looked at yelling or calling out for really heavy belt. Hey! And what was so fascinating was that regardless of the test subjects, whether they were lay people, professional, amateur singers, regardless of genre, everybody tended to make the same shape in the larynx. And we thought, you know what, we're onto something here. And so we started developing it as a pedagogical model.